so we're a few days off 2026. And I'm actually pretty excited for the new year. Like, I really want this year to be different. Just different in every way. I've got a lot of goals for next year. A lot of goals centered on myself for once. I do want to move out next year, early to mid next year. So that's something that I'm working on. I'm working now, so that helps. I think what I've really found hard to adjust to is just making time, I don't find it hard to make time. I find it hard it's just really difficult for me sometimes to have the energy for all the responsibilities that come with my beautiful pup, with my baby right here. Sleeping by mama. Yeah, so that's kind of been the biggest adjustment. It's just really sad because I don't like him. I haven't for a long time, but I never wanted her to lose her bond with her dad or whatever he is to her now. Nothing really, by his own choice. Yeah, so that's just been difficult in the sense that I'm a very sensitive person and I know my animals, and I know that she loved him and she had a bond with him, and it would have actually been hard for me, really, to co-own her with him if it had ever come to that, because I actually stopped liking him long before we stopped talking. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go into why, but still, I'm not the kind of person who uses animals for leverage or weaponizes them. So yeah, I always wanted her to have that bond with him, regardless of whatever was going on between us, but yeah, I think it didn't work out that way because he's actually scared of seeing me. I know that's it. You know, you can't really spend so much time with someone and have someone in your life so long and just not know what's going on with them. So yeah, I was like, okay, well, that's his issue. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to talk to him about it because, well, I'm not going to try and get it out of him as to why he feels that way. That's his problem. That's for him to deal with. And I'm just going to move on and live my life. But another goal that I really, really want to work on and just be focused on next year is growing my hair back. I'm doing well, but still got a way to go. And that's why, in some ways, I'm grateful for all the losses that I've had and the fallouts that I've had with certain people this year, because I just noticed that they were stressing me out to the point where I would start doing things like pulling my hair out or picking at my skin. And that's a big red flag for me personally. When I can't simply talk to someone, or when they can't communicate with me in a way where, if they can't communicate with me, or if I can't communicate with someone in a way where my nervous system feels regulated and safe, then I start to fall into really bad habits, self-harming behaviors like pulling out my hair. And that was something that I would do. That was something that I would do a lot. Like all the time. Whenever I would talk to her dad. For some reason, I just... And the funny thing is that it only ever happened, I believe that it only ever happened because it became very difficult for me to talk to him through the means that we would usually communicate, which is texting and messaging. I really, really started to hate that. Like, I actually started to hate that so much that seeing his name pop up on my phone actually started to make me really anxious and really upset. Like, it would really get to me. So, I just hated calling him. Well, no, not actually, no. We hadn't talked over the phone for a long time. Our means of communication literally went from being able to have a conversation in person, you know, just being able to talk to each other about anything. And then it slowly just went to texting and Facebook messaging. And I noticed that. And I hated it. And so I was like, this is pointless. So the last thing that I said to him, I had a go at him, said some things that I knew would push him away and make him block me and make him just fuck off, which is what I wanted, because I was sick. I was sick and tired of constantly being afraid of my phone. Just constantly being actually scared of my phone to the point where I would feel sick to my stomach when I would get a message from him or a text from him. Anytime I saw his name just pop up on my phone via Facebook Messenger or a text, I would just get really upset straight away. Even before reading the message. Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong, baby? Yeah. Before I would even read what it said, man, I would just open it with dread in my stomach already, feeling that already, and then I would read the message, and that would just make me feel even worse. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't really want to say, even though I'm quite capable of it, I don't really want to say straight up, you're a cunt fuck off, like for good. So instead, I did what I'm actually quite good at when I know someone very well, and I will admit this. When I know someone very well, I will hit out at them with my words, just with my words, and say things that I know will hurt them, just to get them to fuck off and leave me alone. And that's because I've had enough, and I'm fed up, and I'm done. But I don't want to. It sounds bad, but I don't want to tell them to fuck off. So I just do it in another way, which is by targeting the things that I know will hurt them, just so that I don't have to feel this constant anxiety every time I try to communicate with them. But they're not listening to me, and they're not understanding me, and I feel unheard, and I feel misunderstood all the time with that person. When I start to feel that way with someone, that's when I start to think, you know what, this is pointless. This is useless. Why are we still talking to each other? Why do I have you in my life? Why am I in your life? If I'm whatever, if I'm so bad, or if I'm too much, or whatever, then fuck off and find less. So it got to the point where even long after we broke up and he still wanted to be friends, it's when I started to get very anxious. And I actually did. I started to get scared because I was starting to notice signs of a man who didn't want to be with me, but also didn't want to let me go. And I'm telling you now, someone like that is dangerous. Like they are just unhinged, and they cannot be trusted. So, yeah, I got to a certain point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I want better for myself. I want to meet someone one day who is actually emotionally capable of being a partner to me. And not only that, but also being a good friend to me. Someone who's loyal, someone who has integrity, someone who has emotional intelligence. You know, a man who has humility, doesn't put his ego above his relationships. You know, that is something that I've always wanted when I think about committing to someone. Is anything that I can give him, and I know that I give it to him when I feel safe with him. If he makes me feel unsafe, then he puts me in my masculine. He makes me the leader. And I don't want to do that. I want to be soft, and I want to be feminine, and I want to just be with a man who makes my nervous system feel calm and safe when I'm with him. You know, I want to be with a man who makes me feel like I can relax into my femininity and my softness, because he is there and he's turning up for me as a man, being the leader, you know, looking after me, planning things. He's just a man who is in his masculine. Someone like that is what I've always wanted, because I believe that is the only way that it should be between a man and a woman. And I wasn't getting that from the relationship that I came out of. Instead, I was getting abused and mistreated and made to feel like I was this fucking mother teaching him things that he should know at his age. You know, teaching him about how to be a decent human being, how to have emotional awareness, how to talk to women with respect, something that he thought that he knew how to do, but clearly didn't. I didn't want to be with someone who's just so emotionally immature because he grew up with parents who just have the most toxic marriage, in my opinion. I'm not even going to go into it, but all I saw from his parents was that his mother was the one who was looking after his father. And she was the man in her relationship. And then she teaches her son like nothing about emotional maturity and how to be a leader in his own relationships. And it was just really sad. It started to get really sad. And I was like, damn. Like, it's kind of pathetic, but I get it. Like, I really did get it, but like, I didn't care. Like, because all I cared about was how it was affecting me. And how it was affecting me is that our relationship literally started to mirror his parents' relationship. And I was like, I'm not doing this. Nope. I'm not, no. I'm not gonna be Faye. I mean, that was his mother's name. And I was like, I'm not gonna be this woman who is put in the masculine and the man gets to act like the princess. Or he gets to act like a fucking woman and not show up for me and not be there for me. But then he expects me to always have his back and to make him feel loved when he was doing nothing to make me feel loved. So I was like, no, this manipulation is not working on me. I can see straight through this. So I said some nasty things. And I was like, I hope this is the end. You know, like, people always think that I don't know what I'm doing when I say some of the nasty things that I can say. But I do. It's probably not the best way to go about it, but I don't know, I just had enough. And my nervous system was pretty much hijacked by then, and I couldn't do it anymore. And now that is one of my goals this year, is to find... I actually do want to be in a relationship again, but I want to be in a relationship where I get to relax and just be a woman, just be feminine, just be soft and kind, which is the person that I am naturally anyway. I don't want to have to feel like I need to fight him all the time. I don't want to feel like he's the enemy all the time. I don't want to look at him all the time and think, man, what the fuck happened to you? Like, seriously, what happened to you? I don't want that. I don't know if that was her or me. But yeah, it got to that point where I'm just thinking, I don't want to do this anymore, man. Like, this is not cool. The woman isn't meant to chase And I'm not someone who likes to chase deep down. I will not do it. I won't do it. Like, I'm fucking stubborn. I don't care how much I like someone, how much I may care about someone. I'm not chasing, especially not a man. I haven't been brought up that way, you know. I've been brought up with a very strong mother, very independent mother, who always told me never chase a man. So I'm not going to. And I do believe in a relationship that the man should always love the woman just a little bit more, just a bit more. If she loves him more than he loves her, it is not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm just saying that now. That's my personal opinion. I think that he should love her more. He should be just a little bit obsessed with her more than the other way around. She should not be the one, like, he should want her more, not her, not the other way around. She should not be the one who wants the relationship to work more than him. If that's the dynamic that they have, it is not going to work. Guaranteed. I'm not doing it. I want that relationship where the man wants me more, where he loves me more, where he tries just a little bit more than me. And when he can put up with me when I'm a little bit crazy, because I can be. And I know I can be too much sometimes, but I don't care, because if you love someone, then you can deal with that. And you can handle it. And if you can't, then don't be with them in the first place. You know? That's what I genuinely believe. That's the kind of relationship that I want. So I'm making this now, and I'm going to put this up. And this time next year, I hope that I have that relationship. If not, never say never. Could happen for me, just maybe not next year. But that's another goal. Is that's my ideal relationship, and that's the one that I'm holding out for. That's the one that I'm waiting for. That's the one that I will not budge out of my single status for anything less than that. So what's another one? Oh yeah, another one is to get my license. Yeah, I want to get my license next year. My mother was always very much against it because of... Hey! I'm making a video for my page because of some conditions that I have which could affect driving, but I'm still going to go for it. To write more, sing more. I love singing. I want to get the passion and the love that I have for my singing back. And that's it. And actually I have more goals, but talk about them later. Bye.